Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the show. Manchester United 1, West Ham United 1. Manchester United are in the top four, so all you Leicester fans can sit down, and Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans, etc., etc. This is your Manchester United match reaction, and the reason why my voice isn't as amped as it could be is because we're sat here once again, not winning a game because of an individual error. But you know what? Let's not make this the Debbie Downer show. So do hit that like button if you are interested in the show, and please do consider subscribing if you are new. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening, and what are your thoughts on the game today?
I'm disappointed, lads. I'm really disappointed. I was fuming at halftime. I don't even know. I got no, and that's one of my favorite players. And then they made a mistake and everything. Just that 1-0 down didn't help any causes. And then we got the 1 goal back. It's just West Ham looked like they were there for the taking, and we just couldn't do it. I'm just so disappointed.
Unpopular opinion. I don't think West Ham actually deserved the point there because they did bug all in that game, and I think
they were there to get beaten today, definitely.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with Manchester United, and it's something I noticed, you said Matic, you were frustrated with Matic and he didn't move the ball quickly. I said I was happy with Matic and I thought he was taking enough time on the ball. And Paul Pogba, even though he had a good game, as well as Bruno Fernandes, I didn't speak about Bruno Fernandes, but Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes, both of them, I'm actually fed up with the long balls across the field that go nowhere, especially in the dying embers of the game. So I think I've identified a problem in this team. We have a good starting 11. And we have somewhat of a playing style nowadays when we're playing well. But when things aren't going our way, we don't seem to stick to what worked. For some reason, there are people who seem to think that Manchester United need to move the ball quicker in transition. And there's people like myself who think some people just need to be better decision makers on the ball. Like there was a point in Manchester United when Manchester United won transition where Rashford did some sort of back heel. And I was like, what are you doing there? I would have rather had Matic on the ball because Matic would have slowed down, turned around, looked up. Okay, the three guys I want to pass to are marked. Let me pass it back to Maguire and hold the ball. Like, if you want to be an advocate for Matic, notice how when we dominated this game, it was when we held the ball, not when we were playing dashing balls across the field. And look, whatever your opinions are of what Manchester United should be playing, I'm not saying we shouldn't play fast, fluid football in transition off the break. What I am saying is we need to pick one and stick to it consistently in a game of football until it works, and everyone needs to be on the same page. Because when it's 1-1 and there's 5 minutes left on the clock and you're darting balls all over the field, how do you expect to dominate a game? Like, the whole point of fast attacking fluid football is that the game is open. It's both ends. It's counted at both ends. And do we want Manchester United to dominate games like they did in the first half where everything was composed? Yes, we weren't creating chances, but we were dominating the game. West Ham looked like passengers at Old Trafford and they just held their shape. And I think we would have eventually gotten through if we'd just been patient. Like, we have the quality. I mean, you saw the ball over the top from Pogba. If Bruno had just trapped that properly. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
No, I agree 100%. I think it worked against the lesser teams like Sheffield. And I feel like those teams were just coming back from the lockdown, so they weren't really on it. It worked. We ran past them. But now, against slightly better teams, against slightly better teams, and maybe when we're a bit more tired, just playing long balls over and over again. And I get it, the pace thing, but it doesn't help. And you're right in saying it's a decision-making thing. We need to know when to move the ball slowly and when to move the ball quickly, and it seems like we just don't have it. But Pogba, shocker.
I'm not even mad at Pogba. I was joking when I sent Shoni those messages. I was just trying to make him see what it feels like when he banters people like Kevin De Bruyne because they had one bad game. I'm not mad at Pogba. Like, it is what it is. Manchester United shouldn't be drawing games because of one penalty decision. I'm mad at the people who won't give Pogba the same energy as they give other players. Like, when Pogba makes a mistake, you get two types of people. You get people who call him a virus, and then you get people who defend him. And I'm not talking specifically about today, even against Southampton. Like, can we not just look at our players and say, hey, people make mistakes? De Gea was horrible against Chelsea, but what did De Gea do tonight? Why did De Gea deserve to get dropped? Tonight, he was a solid keeper. This is what I was trying to say on Saturday. Like, stop going in on one player because it's not going to solve our problems. Like, the problem with this club is having a consistent batch of players who play consistently enough that even when one person makes a mistake, it doesn't matter because we win games.
True, it happens, but it's something Pogba needs to work on. Because I was listening to the United stand before I came on, And I think it was Flick saying that he needs to work on those little things and those little mistakes that he makes.
He does. He does.
He does it way too many times. He'll hold onto the ball way too long and lose the ball, and it's just not productive. So if you fix
does, but like what annoys me, what annoys me is not that I disagree with that. What annoys me is that we have so many players in the team like that. Why choose Paul Pogba? Why choose David De Gea? Why choose Martial? There's so many players who have errors in this team. Like, do I even need to name them? The Dan Jameses of this world, the Rashfords of this world, who instead of playing a normal pass, you decide to backheel like you're 3-0 up. Like you can't even see where you're passing, but you're gonna blackheel and you're on transition.
That's true.
Like,
and
there's so many players in this team that cost us, bro. It's not just Pogba. Maguire is a fucking fridge, bro, who cost 80 million. Lindelof can't do fuck all in the air, bro. Like, it's not just Pogba. And if we're gonna go in on players, then we have to go in on at least 7 out of 11 players. I mean, let's talk about Bruno. Bruno playing bloody through balls that never go through. Like, what did Bruno do today? Like, for real, what came off for Bruno Fernandes?
Most of it is the Pogba agenda, can't deny it. But he has to realize that he plays in a very crucial position. And when he loses the ball there, it's very dangerous because a lot of the time it leads to us conceding a chance. So he needs to fix it. But I think Pogba knows he needs to fix it. Like, I don't think we need to tell him as the fan base. But I get your point. I do see why people are frustrated at Paul Pogba. But like, he's a professional footballer, guys. He's won a World Cup. He knows what he's doing wrong. And he's not going to be perfect every week. You know, we shouldn't be missing out on top 4. Actually, we're not missing out on top 4. Newsflash, we're 3rd. Mystic Marcus told you we'd leave Proc Chelsea. And if Chelsea lose tonight, we're still 3rd. Ha ha ha. But anyways, I know what he was doing there. Was he not watching the ball? Like, was he too focused on
I don't blame Pogba, bro. I don't blame Pogba, bro. That thing was coming to his face like a freaking rocket. I don't blame Pogba.
Like, anyone wanted to like, make fun of him there. I was like, let me rifle a fucking ball to your head and see what you do.
Let me rifle a ball to your head and let's see what you do. Let's see if your first instinct is to drop to the ground. Let's see. Because, you know, I tell you what, this is not relevant, right? But I don't know if you guys know about Hughes, the Australian cricket player who died because a bouncer was bowled at him by
and that was a rock shot. It wasn't even like a semi. That was a rocket shot.
Yeah, dude. And dude, this guy's a professional batsman. He gets paid to whack balls, but that ball came and he turned his back on it and he died because it hit him in the back of the neck. So Pogba's reaction when that ball was coming at a rocket was just a normal human reaction. It happens. Ronaldo did it under Fergie. And the worst thing about Ronaldo's one is when I don't know if you remember this, like some of you United fans will remember this, those of you who supported United under Fergie, but there was a game where Ronaldo got sent off because instead of heading the ball, he smacked it with his palms because the cross was just too good. I don't know if it was Beckham or someone, but it was coming in too quick from the wing. It happens in football. Like, it happens. Like, are we going to discredit Paul Pogba as a player now just because he made one mistake? But then when Eric Bailly did the same thing against Bournemouth, we let it slide because it's not Pogba. You see what I'm saying? Like, people make mistakes in this team all the time, and we need to stop going in on our own players because it does nothing. Paul Pogba knows he shouldn't be handballing the ball. Like, he knows this. If Lingard had done it or Pereira had done it, I'd be like, my nigga, come on. But like, because it's Pogba, people want to go in, you know. And I think it's just immature. I understand the frustration. I understand, but it's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. We are in 3rd, and if Chelsea lose tonight, we'll stay in 3rd.
In terms of the performance, it was very hot and cold from both teams. Actually, as a match, if you were neutral watching, that was a crap match, to be honest. It was a horrible one. And
I think that's West Ham's fault, to be honest. They just sat back. Like, I'm going to be dead honest.
To be honest. I think
it was West Ham's fault.
I think we started well, like 5 minutes. Then we were so flat. And I say that because I don't think West Ham's defense was that great, but we just couldn't get behind.
The West Ham's defense wasn't amazing, but they kept their shape, Rita. Like, if you noticed, when we were holding the ball and we were arcing around the field, West Ham did not move. Like, usually when Manchester United go to one side of the field, they play a cross ball to the other side because there's space open. If you noticed, every time a ball got played to Brandon Williams or Fosu Mensah, there was always West Ham players on both sides. They stayed compact and they stayed in the middle and they jammed everything. And yes, we did unlock them a few times, but this is what I'm saying about Manchester United. We do not have a definitive way and a definitive pattern to break down teams that actually keep a good shape. The difference between them and Southampton is Southampton played a high line. They played a low line, and they played it bloody well for a team with their quality. Like, they weren't amazing, but they did the basic thing right, and that's stay in shape. I genuinely think so. There was no space.
You're right about just running back. I feel like if we were a bit more intense in holding the ball and moving it, we would have would have broken them down and would have got. I feel like there wasn't enough forward passes, and I think that has a lot to do with Bruno Fernandes playing badly. But in general, I just think both teams were quite flat.
We were definitely flat, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you say there wasn't enough forward passes. There wasn't enough forward passes because United aren't ready to play against the low block consistently and break it down all the time. Like, we need a pattern and an algorithm, if you want to call it, to unlock teams. You know, we need to be like the Liverpools and the Man Cities of this world, where they have a consistent pattern throughout the season. And I think with United, there is a level of improvisation, and I don't know if that's completely Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault, because we know he likes to improvise. But I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that the squad is just not used to playing in difficult circumstances yet, you know. But fair play to them; they didn't lose tonight. That's all I'll say. They didn't lose, and we are in third.
But like
It's not the end of the bloody world.
There was a lot of tired legs of both teams.
There was. I mean, Wan-Bissaka didn't even play today, and he came on and he looked dead. Like, he wasn't even backtracking as fast as Brandon Williams, and I was disappointed.
I thought Darren played actually very well today.
Second half, he played well. Second half, he played.
But yeah, do you want to go into the player ratings then?
Yeah.
David De Gea out of 10. Did nothing wrong today.
They get a 7 today. It's just, you know, he didn't do anything amazing, but when he was called upon, he was there, and he looked like he responded to the criticism fairly well today. You know, it didn't look like he was short of confidence, and you know what, you need to just keep going. You know, whatever it is, just keep going. You know, and today, fair enough, he got his chance, and he took it. So yeah, I have no problems with De Gea today. 7.
Yeah, look, he wasn't tested, but you can't blame him for that, and he made the classic David De Gea saves. So I can't fault him. I'll give him 7.
All right. Foster Mensah out of 10.
I thought Foster actually kind of played well today. You know, despite that yellow card that he got, he did.
And he nearly got an assist.
Yeah, he did all right. He did all right today. So yeah, I think Foster, hopefully he can keep it up. I hope he can keep going, because he would be such a nice backup right back. And yeah, I just hope that he continues on this path. Yeah, again, no problems with Foster. 7.
I think the first few minutes of the game looked like the complete package. I think he looked a bit more comfortable than Wan-Bissaka taking on players. Wan-Bissaka hitting a good cross, but then he was taking on players one-on-one and beating some of the West Ham defenders. So I liked that. But I feel like as the game went on, defensively he started suffering because committing a lot of fouls. So I'm going to say 6.5.
Look, for a player who hasn't played in nearly a year, I think Foster Mensah deserves the bloody Ballon d'Or. Honestly,
yeah, he looks like
bloody well. He looks like a bloody good player. Like, I think good player in context, a bloody good player in context. I ain't saying he's the best right back in England. I'm just saying that for a person who hasn't played in a year, he looks amazing.
Yeah, no kudos, but just analyzing the performance for the performance itself.
Yeah, I'm not going on your player ratings. I'm just giving my opinion. Don't worry, mate. Lindelof out of 10.
7 also. I think Lindelof didn't do anything wrong again today. Solid defensively. Antonio was definitely targeting Lindelof more than Maguire, and I think that he dealt with Antonio pretty well. Antonio was left, well, he didn't get fed anything basically. So yeah, 7.
I honestly think he was the best defender. I think he had a good game, and he's been having good games. I think he was moving the ball, coming out with it from the back like Maguire does a lot. So he's improving in that department. I think he was pressing really well. He was smelling the danger, and I think he had a good game. So I'm going to give.
Yeah, no. For me, it's always the same with Lindelof, man. I think look, I think he's the Swedish version of Harry Maguire. I really do. And he's been more consistent at times. So
I feel like you start wondering, like, if we did get a Koulibaly, who comes out? Because
I would drop Maguire. Personally,
I would also drop Maguire.
As much as he doesn't have the aerial presence, I feel like he's slightly more agile than Maguire is.
And the thing about Lindelof is he is actually a consistent player, and he doesn't have the pressure of being captain on him. So
yeah, Maguire.
I would genuinely rather play Lindelof over Maguire. Actually, no, not recently. period, I would rather play Lindelof over Maguire because I never watched Maguire at Leicester City and I never thought he was good enough. I just backed him because I was like, I'm not going to say a player I've never seen is crap. And I heard so many good things about Maguire, like his aerial statistics, and I was like, okay, go on then, show us why you cost 80 million. Show us why we shouldn't have bought Koulibaly in the summer. And so far, for 80 million, he hasn't justified anything for me. I think he's a good leader.
And I would.
This is what I think of Maguire. I think Maguire is a good leader. I think Maguire is an exemplary figure. I still think he should be the captain based on the circumstances, but I don't know about long term. I think he's a good player, but I think Lindelof is better. I've always liked Lindelof more, and right now, you're asking me who's better between the two of them. Lindelof, all the way.
I think maybe Lindelof is being more consistent, and that counts a lot. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Maguire has slightly more attributes, but in a partnership with, let's say, Koulibaly, one can say maybe Lindelof is better for that.
That's all I hear about Maguire. Attributes. Attributes mean fuck all to me if you're not performing on the pitch. That's all I hear about Maguire. Like you guys know.
Not showing his attributes.
If you're not consistent, what does it mean? What is it for? Fosu-Mensah has attributes, but he's been out for a bloody year, so it doesn't matter. And I look, it's harsh, but we're Manchester United. We have to be harsh. And that's not to say that I don't like Maguire. I do like Maguire. I've mentioned some very good things about him. Like all the things that people say he's not, I think he is. I think he is a leader. I think he is an exemplary figure. I think he's not active on social media like all these other players, so he actually sets the tone for the dressing room. Like, okay, well, he does the whole here we go again. But you know what I mean? He's not going to be crashing his Range Rover during bloody lockdown or getting a haircut illegally. He's an exemplary figure. When young players walk into that dressing room and they see Harry Maguire, like, what does he do wrong besides on the pitch? He just needs to work on the pitch. And if he can't work on it, I mean, if you're asking me right now, I'd rather play Lindelof next to Koulibaly because right now, this is not the Maguire I've been hearing about, from the people who actually back him. So that's all it comes down to. But hey, it's down to opinion. It's down to opinion. Unpopular, I know. Did we give Maguire a rating? We're going to give him out of 10. Sorry.
Oh,
we'll take a bit of a rant there.
I'll give Maguire 6. I thought he was kind of average there.
Defensively, he was okay, but he was flat in everything else. So I'm going to give him a 6. Yeah.
Sorry. That was very unprofessional. The City fan is really bugging me at the moment. Brandon Williams out of 10.
I must Luke Shaw, and that's all I'll say. 5.
Yeah, no. Look, Luke Shaw playing so much, and him not getting a lot of game time is doing a number on him. Because since he's been playing and since
not fully,
he's like Jared Boehm really put him under pressure, and he really struggled to contain him. And offensively, he gave nothing today. So yeah, it was a poor game. I'm gonna give him a 6.
Ooh, I think he played well. Not gonna lie, I like Williams. Not gonna lie, but maybe it's just my biasness.
But it doesn't always match.
Energy. I see things in Williams. I see things that he does on the field, and I'm like, damn, that was good. Damn, I like that. Damn, well done. There are moments where he makes me want to rip my hair out, but I see things in Williams that I actually genuinely like. It's not just that he runs around a lot.
He's a brilliant feature. But I think today and in the past few games hasn't been on it.
I disagree. I've been loving Williams. I thought he played well against Chelsea, but hey, it's down to opinion. Matic out of 10.
3. For me, again, I was complaining about Matic the whole game. I felt like Matic today killed my momentum. There were so many times you could have just hit it first time through ball, like first time to the side, and there was a chance to be had. And I just felt like all our plays were dead when Matic got the ball. So yeah, I was very disappointed with Matic today. 3.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to be one of the biggest contrasts in the show in terms of ratings because I think he was my man of the match. I think he played really well. Defensively, he dropped back and got up a lot of good tackles. And I think offensively today, he was one of our better midfielders. I think, he's not a 10, so he can't make those intricate passes. He's making very good forward passes. And defensively, he was on it again as always. So I think
he set up like 3 or 4 crosses for Fosu-Mensah and Brandon Williams, and this guy says he did nothing right. Okay, buddy.
I think he was our best player.
Maybe when he gets a World Cup medal, you actually like him.
I'm going to give him an 8.5.
Yeah, maybe when he gets a World Cup medal, Johnny will actually like him, huh? And then he can score 3 on goals and you'll still love him after he gets his World Cup medal. Paul Pogba then out of 10. I'm just kidding, Shane, by the way.
Paul Pogba, he's going to get the number that's on the back of his shirt. 6. Average Paul. I mean, I thought he was good, but that handball. I don't blame him, but that handball. I don't know.
I don't even want to talk about it because, like, I just want to be positive. I'm done. Like I don't want to be talking about individual areas. I'm done for tonight, at least.
Yeah, look, here and there he had moments, and he did the simple things right offensively, but I don't think he was consistent enough to the games. I think maybe tiredness as well, and he did.
Yeah.
The goal was his fault, so I'm gonna give him a 5.
That's fair enough. I think. Again, Manchester United shouldn't be drawing a game because of one individual area. So I'm not going to be one of those people that goes in and Pogba and sound like a hypocrite now, you know. And plus, I would have done the same bloody thing if a ball was coming at that speed.
I would have done the same thing as well.
What?
Like I would have probably, the worst case, I'd probably just dodged it completely and it could have went top right corner.
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, like it's like the flight or fight response. You can't control it. You have to train it subconsciously before the situation actually comes.
And I'll
so like Pogba's
rifle a ball to anyone's head wants to fight it.
And it was gonna hit his head anyways. So like, it's not like it was like people make it sound like the handball was like the Suarez handball. Like the trajectory was going towards his head anyways. So like, if Pogba didn't put his hands in front of his face, we would have stopped the goal, but he would have had a concussion. So I don't get why the.
And the first look, I thought it smacked him straight in the face and he was dead.
I also thought so, because he was there on the floor, blinking, like really dramatically. And I was like, what? What a legend. He didn't put his hands in front of it.
It's a handball because the rules say handball. But it's very clear.
No, I've got no problems with it being a handball. Like, I understand.
It was a penalty.
That
like, if that happened on the opposite side of the
field. Yeah, if it happened in the opposition half, I'd also want a handball. I'm not saying Paul Pogba wasn't in the wrong. I'm just saying if a ball was coming at my face and people making a big deal of it, like the man freaking, you know, handled it with his hands like 5 centimeters above his head. No, it was going to hit him anyways. Like, West Ham weren't going to score from that shot unless Pogba ducked and De Gea wasn't looking. So it's one of those, you know, it's one of those. But anyways, Bruno out of 10.
Bruno 5, I think. 5. I mean, I think Bruno is looking frustrated. He's looking a bit lost, and like you've seen today, like, you know, how even that little thing with I've got that guy one of the West Ham players, he got into a scuffle with it, and Bruno, it wasn't that his very best and the high expectations we have of Bruno. He played a few good passes, but then again, you know, overall it was nothing amazing. And you know, that midfield, and you know, we should, as a team overall, should have done way better today. But 5.
Yeah, no, I thought he was poor. I think he's suffering from the Dan James fever. I think this guy's playing way too many games, and I think we're starting to see the tired legs from him. And I think he was really the missing link in that midfield, because yes, Pogba wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. Matic was good, and we just didn't have enough forward passes. So I'm gonna give him a 4.
Yeah, fair enough. Rashford out of 10.
Ooh.
That's terrible.
I don't know. I love him one week and then I hate him the next week and then I don't know the next week and then I love him again. It's like, Rashford, oh my goodness. I wanted to rip his head off today. And then sometimes I was like, oh my god, this guy's amazing. And then Rashford is 50-50, so 5 out of 10.
Yeah, like I feel like this is Rashford when he doesn't score. Like, he won't be the one who assists, or like, okay, he'll assist here and there, let him not be harsh, but he won't be there displaying an incredible IQ. But he was taking on players, and he looked a bit dangerous. So I don't think it was a horrible game. So I'm gonna give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. I've got nothing to say about Rashford because, you know, my mind was on other things. You know, I think he took a really good shot in the first half. Fabianski was a little bit dramatic with the way he saved it, but, you know, it's a shot on target. Martial out of 10.
I thought Martial played well again today. I think Martial in the recent weeks has been one of the shining lights in this United team, the struggling United team. And I think, Martial is showing why he can be a top level striker. He's showing his maturity, and he's still young. Martial is still young. All these players are still very young. And the way Martial is going on about it, the sky's the limit for him. I was really impressed with Martial. So 7.
I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention on him. But yeah, I think he was our most consistent in the attacking line, and he was very threatening. So I'll give him a 6.5.
Fair enough. Mason Greenwood, by the way, Mason Greenwood has scored just as many goals as George Best and Wayne Rooney as a teenager. So he's tied the record for most goals scored in a single season by a teenager at Manchester United. As a teenager.
Listen, everyone knows how I feel towards my son. He's brilliant. And today, in the struggling United team, I thought, again, he was the shining light. In such a high pressure situation, Mason Greenwood is always there for me because I rate him. But, I think if you had to ask overall, would he be the deciding factor where we get the point or something? Not many people would give it to him. And I think for him at his age to get a result out of this game for United is big. And again, I'm just this boy also. Sky's the limit with Mason Greenwood. He could be the best player in the world one day. But he must just keep doing what he's doing. And yeah, he'll achieve everything he wants. So Mason Greenwood's my man of the match today. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, no, he had a really good game. Okay, not a really good game, but he scored, and it wasn't an easy chance to score. And he just sprinkled some little stardust and made it happen. So big ups to him, and his numbers are amazing. So he has a bright future ahead of him. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for him, we'd be such a going, we bottled it again.
If it wasn't for Greenwood today, I could tell you. We bottled it again. My right hand is broken.
It's one of them things. Football isn't black and white like that because it's Pogba's fault and Greenwood's fault that we're in third today. Like, it's both their fault. Like, if Pogba didn't concede the handball, we would have been 1-0 up. But if Greenwood didn't score and Pogba didn't concede the penalty, it could have ended 0-0 with how boring that game was. So football's not that simple. But yeah, I think if it wasn't for him, I don't see how we would have come back into that game. It's just hard to see. It's just hard to see.
Yeah.
The fact that we needed to even come back into that game is just mind-boggling to me because I think West Ham did bug all in the first half.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like,
West Ham
they just got like a lucky penalty.
United overall were also crap. So that's that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why it's making me stressed for that Leicester game now. That Leicester game is so important, and I have full faith in the boys. But oh my goodness, United, this team under a lot of pressure. We've seen what they've done, and goodness.
I think
it's basically a cup. I think it all depends on what happens. It depends on what happens with Chelsea, though. Don't forget about that as well. Because if we draw against Leicester and Chelsea lose their next 2 games, that also helps. We don't want to be relying on favours, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, we need to be mindful of the fact that of where this club was in December. Like, we have no right this season to be in top 4 other than what's happened in the last 3 months. We have no right. So.
In fact, some people could say we're even being overly critical because, this team in the second half, they did well when Bruno. As soon as Bruno came to the team, they've done it.
We've come far from losing to Matthew Longstaff at Newcastle. So yeah, that's great. And we only need 1 point. And I don't know. I don't know if we'll win, but I don't see Leicester beating us.
Yeah. Look, with regards to being overcritical, I don't think United fans are overcritical. I just think the opposition fans are too complacent. That's just my opinion. But I think the problem is not being overcritical. We didn't play well today. It's okay to say that. We should have won today. It's okay to say that. But it's not okay to carry that negativity into the Leicester game and then go and break your bloody TV based on where we were in December. It just doesn't make sense. You're an idiot if you're sitting here and you think United 100% beyond reasonable doubt deserve top 4, because the reality is, based on the full scope of the season, we don't. We only deserve it based on what we've done in the last 3 months. And you have to be proud of what this team has done. You can't just say, if we don't make top 4, I'm done. I'm done. You know, life doesn't work like that. It's not black and white like that. What about the last? Where have you been for the last 20 games? We're still unbeaten in the Premier League since January, since Bruno joined. Is that not a fantastic record? Is that not one of our best records since Sir Alex Ferguson has come? So be overcritical, but also learn to be positive as well. Learn to combine the two. Don't be one of those people who just complains, and then you carry that negativity with you into the rest of your life. Like, what's the point? That's not fun.
I would say for
that's
me,
not fun.
especially this week has not been fun. Like, my hand is fucked because of that first half. I punched the wall solid, and now it's like, I prefer not to speak about it.
Yeah, your hand is sore, Mara, we in third. Come on, Chief. You see, don't be like Shoni. Enjoy football. Enjoy football. There's nothing wrong with being upset, but now your hand must be sore because we're in third. Come on. Relax. It's not that serious. It's just the game. It's just a game. A game that we want to win and we're very passionate about, but it's still just a game.
We need to step back and look at it. We're in the top four and we're facing Leicester in the top four. So what more can
we're
we possibly...
bloody third, bro. We're bloody third. If Chelsea lose tonight, we stay third. Like, I don't think people understand that. And they're playing the champions. The champions who aren't playing very well tonight, but they just might turn up. They just might have a good 75 minutes, and that might be enough to get them over the line. Yeah, and it's a home game as well, so it's not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. It wasn't the end of the world when we drew to Southampton. It's not the end of the world that we drew today. It would have been the end of the world if that penalty led to a drop in heads and we lost that game. That would have been the end of the world, because to beat Leicester on the last day when they're just going to do the exact same thing that West Ham did, I don't know. I think
Leicester will come for us.
Yeah,
I think Leicester will come.
I'm worried for Leicester for that, because
it always depends. It always depends. They'll come for us now if we, because we're in the top four. But I think if we had choked tonight, Leicester would have been like, go on then, try beat us. We'll hit you on the break, because that's how Leicester play. When they won the league title, they played on the counter. So I think now that we're in top four, they'll try come at us, which is a good thing, because it will open up the game a bit more. Yeah, it will give us that fast, fluid attacking football with hashtag the United way that we want. And it didn't happen today. Why? Because low block. And we don't have a consistent way of breaking down the low block. I'm telling you, listen to Father Marcus. He's got the wisdom. But anyways, yeah.
We've improved so much in that, but I feel like Bruno's performance was very important today.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing about Bruno Fernandes, and I think people need to get it out of their heads that Bruno Fernandes doesn't fart and his shit doesn't smell. Like, this is the kind of player Bruno Fernandes is. He will always take risks, whether he's shooting from 60 yards out or he's playing a diagonal ball across the field that nobody can see, especially people watching from home, because the camera can only see a certain portion of the field. So whenever Bruno plays a ball, if it doesn't go off, it looks horrible. But when it goes off, oh my God. And that's the kind of risk taker we needed at United. It's better than having a Matic in the 10 who's just turning in circles the whole day and passing it sideways. So I don't think I'm too disappointed. And I say the same thing about Rashford. Rashford is a risk taker who loves cutting in and getting a shot off, or just doing the little bits here and there. But he's a flair player. He's very hot and cold. He's not going to be consistent week in, week out. And all I would say about Manchester United is they need a way of stringing passes consistently with more than just one outlet. Like, we can't just rely on Bruno. Pogba needs to step it up. He really does. He needs to step it up. Whether it's playing more diagonal balls across the top. Yeah, he needs to step it up. Like, there's been so many points, and I don't like to use the word lazy, but I think where Pogba could have put a little bit more effort and thought about things just a little bit more, because with the ability he has, I mean, it's yeah.
Pogba,
I could go
when he's on, we've seen it. When Pogba is on it, he can win a game.
Yeah. But we need him not to be on it every single game, but we need him to work on the things when he's not on it. Like, there's some things that have nothing to do with your form. Like, actually thinking about a pass before you pass the ball. That's gonna, if you're in bad form, that shouldn't be an excuse, right? Like, you shouldn't forget how to pass a football just because you're having a rough patch. You're a professional footballer at Manchester United. You should always be completing. You should, as a midfielder, you should have a good pass completion rate, right? So I think with Pogba, he needs to work on distributing the ball in short, tight spaces just a little bit more efficiently. And then if Bruno plays as badly as he does tonight, it doesn't really matter, because he's got someone else who can do a similar job. There's more than one outlet, which is my point.
If your manager is telling you that on transition, always look for the long, because you have so much pace, is it fair for us to put that on Pogba? Should he have the intellect and the leadership to say, no, in this situation, it's not the good option, so I'm not going to do that?
Well, if you want my opinion, no. That's why I said the reason why Manchester United didn't win today is not because everyone played badly. It's because we don't have a consistent way of breaking down teams. We want to play on the transition, but 1 minute we're playing a long ball, the next minute we're playing sideways passes. Which one is it? Are you playing tiki-taka or are you playing a quick break? Do you want to control the game or do you want the game to be open so that you can hit teams on the break? Which one is it? I think United need to pick one and stick to their strengths. And I think with regards to Paul Pogba, we've seen it today. Like, Matic played so many balls. The only good things that Matic did when he was on the ball today was when he played balls over the top to either Williams or Foster Mensah. Now, if Matic is doing that, then Pogba needs to do what Bruno is doing and be a second outlet. We can't just have Bruno playing the quick passes in transition. Someone else needs to do it as well, so that West Ham don't, it's not very predictable. You know what I mean? Like, someone else needs to play the passes that Bruno's playing, or we just don't do that at all, and we find another way of breaking teams down. Because today, those sideways passes, I don't blame Matic for playing like that. Matic is not a player who plays risky passes through the middle. He's never been that player. Matic always plays a diagonal ball over the top. That's something people praise Pogba for, but Matic can do it as well. And he did it very well today. And it's one of the only things he did well. Williams is not that skilled at beating a man, so he needs to lay it off to someone, and then he needs to hit the overlap, and someone needs to hit it over to him, which is what Matic did. Same with Foster Mensah. He's not that creative, so he needs that. Same with Wan-Bissaka. He's not that creative, so he needs that. Luke Shaw, it's debatable, but I don't think Luke Shaw's that good enough either, so he needs the help. He needs to make a run, and someone needs to make sure they see the overlap. And then Rashford and Greenwood need to command those wings a little bit more and make more intelligent decisions in close quarter. Like, there was too many situations today where I saw Pogba make the most predictable 1-2 run in the middle of the park. Like, come on, bruh. You think West Ham can't see what you're doing? You pass it to Rashford and then you run into space. Okay. That was so hard to defend. Ooh. World-class football. It's not, so we need better patterns of play. And I don't know if that's a tactical thing or if the players are still learning. We'll never know. But I think personally, you've got to look at the system and try to be objective.
It's a bit of both. Because if the manager is relying on the player's IQ and is not really going to instill that type of thing because he prefers them to express themselves, then it might suffer if they're not up to standard. But one can say that a manager can instill that playing style by doing it in training.
Yeah, look, can we get over the express yourselves thing? If you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told that team to express themselves and that's why they went to a 19-game run, grow up. He's the manager of one of the biggest clubs in the world. I'm sure he has a set of tactics that he believes in. And he's not just in the dressing room like, match is fantastic.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Expressed yourself today.
I think with him, he tries very hard to find a balance.
Yeah. And I'm not, but like, I know there's people out there who'll be like, Ollie's still a PE teacher after tonight. Like, please.
Well, yeah. Please. What I will say about Ollie today, though, is that I was a bit disappointed in Ollie. It felt like he was happy with that draw. And I understand it, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah, well, you've got to understand that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Mr. Positive. He always try to look at the positives in certain things. So,
and Ollie's definitely going to say win third. I don't know. People might be overreacting. We have Leicester to play still.
I don't think he'll say that. I think he'll say it's unfortunate that we didn't get the win, but we got the draw and we are in third, which is a fact, and that's a good thing to look ahead for in our next game. That's what I think Ollie will say. Like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's not a clown who just says positive things for fun. Can we please get that out of our heads? He's managing one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he said some really good things in the past few weeks. Like, I get the banter, but some people actually believe it. And that's not banter. That's an actual opinion that some people hold. This guy knows what he's doing, like he has a vision and he's trying to implement it.
He's just looking at the bigger picture. In top four.
Yeah, in the grander scheme of things, a draw is not that bad. Like, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's not going to walk into the dressing room smiling like, well done, lads. Fantastic. You got a draw. No, come on, dude. Come on. Grow up, guys. Did you not watch the freaking podcast? He said it himself. Sometimes you need a bit of ego. You need rough edges. He said it, not me. Grow up, guys. Grow up. Mm-hmm. Those United fans who still have an agenda against Ollie, dude, grow up. You're going to be miserable for a long time because we ain't getting Poch in the summer. He's not getting sacked. So grow up, dude. Just enjoy it. Dude, just enjoy it. Dude, don't you want to be happy? When was the last time we were in third? Can't we just be happy as a fan base? Not complacent, happy. Can we not just be happy and just celebrate the good things? We in third. Are you listening to that? We in third.
Yeah.
We drew to Burnley. I mean, we
As
lost to
you say,
Burnley and we drew to Villa.
As you say,
Yeah,
we're not
sorry.
complacent, which is a nice thing about United fans. Because we're not like Arsenal
Yeah, we're
fans.
not
We
complacent.
make
Yeah.
excuses for their club.
Yeah.
We want our club to get back where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I think Ollie wants that as well. Like, you need to watch that podcast because Ollie wants that as well. Like, he said it. He actually said it. So the myths about Ollie being a clown, a Norwegian clown who smiles and is a positive, motivational speaker in his spare time and can only spit positive. We need to destroy that myth. Like, I think he does need to be a little bit more assertive and he does need to be a little bit more aggressive on the touchlines, but you can't fault a manager for having flaws. Like, that's ridiculous. At this level, like, that's ridiculous. He's not going to be perfect, and it's just like, I understand criticism, but again, don't let it carry into negativity. Like, we are in third. Enjoy it. Let's see what happens with Chelsea later. But
I can give you
enjoy
an update that Liverpool are winning 1-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, just enjoy it. Just, kick your feet up. Let's see what happens after Leicester. If we lose to Leicester and we don't make top 4, so be it. Then we can talk about it then. But for now, we are in third after drawing to Southampton. How many of you thought we'd be in third after drawing to Southampton? Not a lot of you, because a lot of you saw that draw to Southampton and were like, it's done. It's done. This team has a mentality issue. Oh, teams in third have a mentality issue. Oh, interesting. Then I guess, every team below us has a mental breakdown every time they get close to a decent position on the table. Because, if we have a mentality issue in third, imagine what an issue you have to be if you're in 10th. Like, I'm sure Arsenal players need therapy, bro. Like, enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. God damn. Anyways, do you want to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a rating? At all?
5. Yeah, I'll give him a 5.
I think a 5 is fair, because we should have won today.
We should have won. And I think it was a bit too negative, and again, not many changes were made. I guess you could defend why, because the drop off is mad, but again, like I would have tried to do something, maybe overload the midfield or something. I would have maybe taken off Williams as well, because he was getting shot.
I think we
However,
would
that's
have all
West
tried
Ham.
to do that. But if we're sat here and West Ham got a goal on the break because you took off Williams and we're playing 3 at the back in the last 5 minutes, my boy,
I don't know.
playing with
I feel
fire.
I feel like Ole did everything right, in my opinion. And it's just unfortunate because of it. So many games, tired legs, and Bruno Fernandes was just not on it. And a Pogba mistake. So I don't want to blame him too much for it. I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, look, whatever your opinion is of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer today, the point is, could have, would have, should have, you have a bad case of the what ifs if you think he should have. Like, we don't know what would have happened if he took off Williams and Foster-Mensah and brought on 2 strikers. Like, we don't know what would have happened. I mean, West Ham did have a few opportunities on the break, but they didn't have the quality to actually punish us. Luckily, because they're in like 16th or 15th. So any other team, I think, would have punished us on the break quite a few times today because of the expansive, open, fluid style we play nowadays. And I think with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think he did everything right today, but I don't think he did everything wrong. But we have to hold someone accountable for that performance. And he's not exempt from criticism. We should have won. And that's why I think an average rating, even a 5, is justifiable, but it comes down to opinion. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of today's performance. Just my personal final word, we are in third. I'm going to go watch Chelsea, Liverpool, and kick my feet up. And if Liverpool concede a dumb goal and let Chelsea...
Well, they're winning 1-0 so far, so...
Yeah, but you never know with Liverpool because they're leading 1-0 against Arsenal and then they gave 2 dumb goals away. So hopefully they're on it. I'm gonna go watch that game and just enjoy it, guys. Like, please, United fans, please hear me. I'm not saying become complacent. Enjoy it, boys. Enjoy it. This is what being a United fan is about. We tell them we're going to leapfrog them. They laugh at us, and then we do it, and we sit back and we watch them fail. That's what it's about. Have confidence. Stop being scared. Stop being nervous. The last 7 years have been hard, but we are in third, my boy. Peace out.